Well, welcome into the Toby Foreman Show. Another great night for football. I'm glad you're joining us for the broadcast coming up in just a little while. We'll be with you after the pregame show's over with when Toby gets through talking. Then we'll be back live from Searle Stadium for tonight's game between the Midway Panthers and our Shoemaker Gray Wilson. I'm glad to be up there in the press box calling that game, baby. I'm ready.
It's going to be a great game. I mean, Midway's coming off a tough loss, to Harker Heights on a last couple-minute field goal. And, so they'll be prepared. Coach Gillespie does an outstanding job, and he'll definitely have them prepared for us, and we'll be prepared as well.
Well, let's go back to last week. I thought my buddy had like a torn Achilles, some kind of knee problem, some kind of ankle problem, leg problem, been limping around for a little bit. And then I see him on videotape after the game-winning field goal, first man on the field, running about 30 miles an hour, and then made a left turn back towards the students. And I don't think I've seen you run that fast since you stole the stick of gum at the store, baby.
I was actually running towards Brett Williams, our board president, because he sent me a great text message the other day and kind of got me fired up. And I know he understands the importance of that game. He also understood that we hadn't, as a program, won a game like that in a long time, and so that's something that was necessary. And but as far as the speed goes, I used to be fast as a youngster. The only thing I can say is adrenaline.
Did you hurt the next day?
I'm hurting still. We had a lot of stuff that happened throughout that night that was just very emotional things at halftime with one of our athletes. And it just, I had to apologize to Coach President after the game, and I called him the next day and re-apologized because I was like, I didn't mean to be running out on your field like that, but it was just an emotional deal. And so he understood that. But, it just was one of those deals where the kids, we kind of deserved it, I felt like, and the kids, deserved it, and that was why I was so happy. And it was an emotional play. You had a walk-off field goal, and I know people are probably thinking, what is he doing letting 20-something seconds run off the clock? But I was in a weird situation where we didn't have a lot of timeouts. We had one left, and I just made the decision that as well as our kicker was performing, that I was going to let him get a chance to win the game, and it worked out perfect. Had we have missed it, I would have probably been second guess. People were still second guessing me the next day, asking me what I was thinking. But I have confidence and trust in my players, and I think it showed right there.
What a ball game! But you can't celebrate too much because you got to get ready for Midway Panthers, like you said. And how do you keep the kids on an even keel? It's hard to do that. I know you've got to keep them steady and not get the big head and not get down. How do you do that as a coach?
Well, there's we use different examples every week. On Monday we do the scouting report of, hey, this is what needs to happen here, this is what needs to happen there. We got countdown clocks. We got motivational stuff all over the place, but in the end, it does come down to them staying focused. And to this point, we've done that. We may not have played great on every play, every second of every quarter, but overall, we've been prepared every week. We performed every week, and we've been locked in, to my opinion, pretty good. We've got to continue that because Midway is another team that I've not beaten in a game since we've been here. We've gotten after them pretty good a couple years in scrimmages, but we haven't played them, but I think 3 times, and we're 0-3 against them in my tenure, so this will be trying to avoid 0-4. The only time we've ever beaten them in the school's history is in 2013. Coach Hall and those guys beat them 7-3. So in the school's history, we are 1-6 against we're 1-6 against Midway, so that's not a very good record. But all that stuff doesn't really matter because we play them on Friday with these kids and this staff and their kids and their staff. But they're in my opinion pretty loaded on both sides of the ball and special teams, and they have a phenomenal coaching staff.
Yeah, and they've always got a good quarterback and a good running back.
No, they do. This quarterback, Andrew McNair, no kin to Steve McNair, but he can spin it. He can spin it. He's got some weapons to go with it. Number 16, Hayden Brock, has done a great job. He plays tight end receiver. Number 1, Jacoby Hamilton. Number 8, Tyler Seath. I mean, he's got weapons all over, but they go as the running backs go. And it starts with number 4, Lathan Wissington. And then lately it's been number 9, Jaden Fields Vaughn. I think he may be a move-in. I don't know much about him, but if you don't wrap those guys up, you're going to have problems. They have 17 starters on their team that are seniors. The O-line is all seniors. Now, the running backs are underclassmen, but I'm just telling you, like, you better wrap up against them. This will be the best 2 running back tandem we faced all year, and it's not even close. And then if you flip over the defense side of the ball, they're led by number 6, Chauncey King. Now, he didn't play last week. I believe he had a concussion, but he'll definitely be back for our game. And then also number 34, Max Maiden. He played last year, started against us. Number 0, defensive lineman DN Jaden Krausen. Number 19, linebacker Cameron Kazuoka. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Number 12 is, in my opinion, one of their better corners, Jalen McClinton. And then also the other corner, he's a converted receiver, Jesse Satterfield. But they got a lot of guys that can make a lot of plays. Number 5, Lane Alexander. He's a safety. They're just really loaded up, and they're fundamentally sound. Their technique is good, and they play hard until the whistle blows, and that normally spells success. We do the same, so something's got to give on Friday. I said this last week. I think it's going to come down to turnovers and special teams, and it did. Turnovers was a wash. We each had 1 interception in the second quarter, but special teams, we beat Temple on special teams by far in that game, and that was a difference in the game.
Yeah, and the kicker.
Man. The kicker was also the punter. All he did last week was have a 56-yard punt. He had 3 touchbacks. One of them from the minus 25, he kicked it out of the end zone. He had the game-winning 29-yard field goal. So, I mean, he did everything but drive the bus. And so that's why Joshua Navarez-Torres was our overall team MVP. And that's one of the best performances by a kicker/punter that I've ever had.
Have you got him wrapped in bubble wrap all week this week so he stays where nobody hits him, touches him, or anything like that?
Look, he's been very grounded, and he's just a good kid.
He puts his helmet on. He says, "I'm ready."
He's a great soccer player. He's tough. He played football for us as like a running back, linebacker type when he was a freshman. And then he's going to make money one day. He's going to support his family one day playing soccer. Like, he's that good. He'll play some type of professional soccer after he graduates, and we support that. And he does a great job of supporting us.
Hey, I was just here, got here a little early, and Mrs. Logan was here. It was Booster Club getting kids meals and stuff like that. Shout out to her and everything that she does in your Booster Club. They're phenomenal, buddy.
Oh, there's no doubt. She does more than could ever be expected and more than what people will ever know. She's got a huge heart, and these kids are always fed. They're always hydrated, and they're always supported. This is our blackout week, so we'll be coaches wearing black, kids wearing black, the faculty's wearing black. And, last year when we got up to Midway, they broke out some black uniforms, so we're about to do the same to them, so kind of return the favor type deal. But either way, this is a fun time. And let me mention this. Let me back up. All of our levels, all 5 teams won last week. It was a program sweep of Temple. Second time this year. We also swept Ellison early in the year. But we're all 1-0 in district play. That's a big deal, because the alternative is 0-1, and so but we're excited about that. We're excited about the buy-in to our program, and we're excited about the support we get from not only our fan base in the school building, but in the community.
Yeah, and like I said, Miss Logan, she's unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's not just her. You got the Polites. You got there's multiple people that help out. This is our youth middle school night. So Smith, Live Oak Ridge, Audie Murphy will all be in attendance, as will the Junior Gray Wolves. Justin Hartsfield runs that organization. They do an outstanding job. They play their games right out here at Robert M. Shoemaker High School field. Right now, like I said, it's a great time to be a Gray Wolf, and we're excited about where this team is and where our program is right now moving forward.
Hashtag Shoe Family. That's what it's all about.
Shoe Family. It's always going to be Shoe Family. Also, shout out to all the ministers and pastors that have come out and do our pregame devotion. That's been 5 weeks that's been going on. This will be week 6. Pastor Johnson, I'm not sure exactly the church, but those, Coach Dix and Coach Daniels do a great job of setting those speakers up. And what they do is they give a message to prepare our team for each game on the field, because I feel like that's necessary. Something we did in Orange, something we did in Beaumont, and something that we brought here. I'm just kind of advertising it this year, and I think it's been a very positive for our program.
Oh, yeah, and we got Fields of Faith coming up next Wednesday, too. Andrea Womack and Fellowship of Christian Athletes will be holding that. And we'll see you there, and some of your kids will be out there, so that's always a great thing that we do here with the FCA. But we got to go out there and get that win tonight against those Midway Panthers. We want to beat Hewitt Midway, by golly. And it is Hewitt Midway as far as I'm concerned, because it's not really located in Waco. So it's Hewitt Midway.
It is Hewitt. I mean, I don't know the difference that much is, but I think the houses might be a little bit more expensive in Hewitt.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But this is a well-coached team. They're going to be prepared, and we expect to win this game just like they do. But we got to execute on all three phases, and we got to play for 48 minutes as hard as we can.
The pack is ready, man.
We are ready, so y'all come out and watch this thing. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff at Cyril Stadium against the Midway Panthers, our second district game. Y'all be safe traveling, and as always, go Gray Wolves.
This has been an I-14 Sports Network production, bringing the heat from the heart of Central Texas.